Sometimes it's disappointing when you miss a field trip. Sometimes it isn't when you hear other people's reactions about the field trip and how it wasn't enjoyable to them, or you hear other people's opinion just in case another class went on the same field trip as you. And then you realize, wow, you missed something that nobody really enjoyed. You're pretty lucky. It happens. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and as you can see here, I'm knitting, and I'm going to be doing a Knit With Me story time. So today's Knit With Me story time is going to be the time I missed a field trip. I was disappointed about missing a school field trip, but then when I got back to school the next day after being sick, it turned out that nobody really enjoyed the field trip, and neither did the other class, because they said it was not a very fun field trip at all, and it wasn't enjoyable for certain reasons, which I'll get into. And it turned out that I was lucky that I missed the field trip because nobody really seemed to enjoy it from their point of view. So this is a story just to teach you guys, sometimes it is disappointing when you miss the field trip, but then sometimes it's good to hear what other people think of it to see if they enjoyed the field trip, because then you know if the field trip was fun or not. And if it was a fun field trip, it is kind of disappointing. But if it was a field trip that nobody enjoyed, then it's totally fine, whatever. I mean, everybody misses field trips sometimes. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 21 years ago. I was in the 5th grade. I was getting ready, we were all getting ready for my field trip, which was going on the very next day, and it was to a marsh. I'm not going to say the name of the marsh for safety purposes because it's a local marsh. And so my whole class was getting ready to go on this field trip. The day before the field trip, I do not feel very well, and I feel very nauseous and my stomach hurts. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And at first I thought it was from being hungry. So I eat my snack at recess, and because we would get a break in between to have a snack and stuff. So at my school we would have snacks around maybe 9 or 10, and we would eat lunch around 12:30. So that's how kind of like my school was, is we would eat lunch around 12:30. So anyway, I eat my snack, my stomach still hurts. And then I asked my teacher, may I please go to the restroom? And she said, yes. And then when I go to the restroom, my stomach still hurts. And then I am just not feeling well. I have an urge to throw up. I know that's kind of gross, I'm sorry. And so I go to the nurse's office, and they call my mom. My mom was on a hike that day. Luckily she was out because she was able to pick me up. Yeah, because at the time she was a stay-at-home mom, so she was out on a hike, and they were able to get a hold of her to pick me up because my stepdad at the time was busy, and she came to school and grabbed me because she knew I wasn't feeling well. And so we get home, and right when I get home, I start throwing up. It's like, I know that's so gross, I'm sorry. And I literally was not feeling good, so I had to lay down the rest of the afternoon on the couch because I was just not feeling well. So the very next day, I actually ended up feeling a lot better than I did yesterday, but my mom isn't comfortable with me going to school because just in case I still had a little bit of the bug left. But I had told her I felt so much better, and she just wasn't comfortable because she didn't want me to throw up just in case I had to throw up again. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So my mom calls the school, and she takes me out of school for the day. And so after my mom takes me out of school that day, I end up staying at home, because just in case I still had a little bit of the bug left, and she didn't want me to get any of the other kids sick. Despite the fact I felt fine. So that day goes by, and the very next day, at lunch, I asked some of the kids and a couple of my friends who were in my class, how was the field trip? And they all go,
it wasn't very good and blah, 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 blah. Nobody really enjoyed it and blah, 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 blah. We all didn't enjoy it and blah, 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 blah. We just sat there and they just talked the entire time. It was like the most boring field trip ever and blah, 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 blah.
So it turned out that nobody really enjoyed the field trip to the marsh, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And I was wondering why nobody enjoyed it, and everybody just said it was just a lot of talking and they didn't get to look around the marsh, they sat there the entire time and listened to the people talk. They said it was like really, really boring and not enjoyable. Well, so that day, the class, another class had gone to the same marsh that we had went to. It was the other 5th grade class, and they had just gotten back around lunchtime. And I walk up to my friends and I was like, did you guys enjoy the marsh? And one of my friends was like,
you didn't go on the field trip and blah, 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 blah. It was so boring. You were lucky you missed it and blah, 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 blah. And we didn't really enjoy it. Nobody enjoyed it and blah, 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 blah.
And everybody on the field trip also complained that how there was cow manure all over the marsh and how it smelled really bad. So it turned out that I was very lucky that I didn't go on the field trip, because nobody at my class, not even the other 5th grade class, enjoyed it. So I guess it turned out to me that I was disappointed in missing a field trip over nothing. And I was like, wow, I guess I was sick that day. I guess it was good that I was sick that day, or else I would be bored like everybody else on this field trip. So the moral of the story is, it's disappointing when you miss some field trips, but then when you hear other people's experience, like if some people said the field trip was boring, some people didn't really like the field trip, then it's totally fine. Then you were lucky you missed it, because nobody seemed to really, if no one else enjoyed the field trip, then you were disappointed over missing nothing. And I understand field trips are fun, but not all field trips can be as fun, especially when you hear other people's opinions. So sometimes you're lucky if you miss a certain field trip, because maybe that place was boring to a lot of people, and you're lucky you missed it, because then you would have gotten bored. So think of it that way, as a bright side. At least you missed a boring field trip when you were sick. So that was a story about how I missed a field trip at school that nobody ended up enjoying. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And this is also how I was lucky that I missed the field trip, because from everybody in my class's point of view, nobody enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye! Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Oh, I don't like this intro. Let's start that over.